This article was sent to me by Ashton Lewis, and basically, Nick Cannon, despite how you may feel about the guy makes a lot of sense with a lot of talking points when he decides to get into deep conversation, which is probably why he doesn't work over at America's Got Talent anymore. But he basically recently did an interview with Vlad TV, that damn culture vulture. But despite him going on Vlad TV and talking about what he talked about, he actually made a world of sense. I'm going to read this article that's coming from Atlanta Black Star, and by the time I get to the end of it, you're going to say, oh, he made sense, but then you're going to wonder why some people oppose what he said. It says, self-proclaimed gun owner Nick Cannon has a theory about why black people were able to be enslaved. So basically, he's giving the answer that Kanye West should have given, but you know Kanye West, he ain't too bright. On the heels of Kanye West igniting criticism over remarks about slavery sounding like a choice black people made for 4 centuries, Cannon said guns contributed to the success of the enslavement of Africans. When the physical species, the Neanderthals or the people in Africa who were just genetically stronger in many different ways, whether it's through the melanin in their skin, which are able to withstand so much, they had never seen a fucking gun before. He explains to Vlad TV on Friday, May 11th. And so if it wasn't for guns, there would be no slavery, because in that sense of these people came over with guns. They was like, "Oh, I'll fuck you up until you saw this motherfucker shot me. He must be some kind of god. I got to listen to whatever this white man says." Basically what he's saying is that when black people saw the gun for the first time and they saw how powerful it could be, not only did they realize they were probably outnumbered, but they saw that it could kill them just with one shot if aimed correctly. Then that meant that this white man must be obeyed. It's like it sent a trigger into their head. Cannon added he owns guns because he believes all people should have an equal footing when it comes to arming themselves. If you got an AR-15, goddammit, I want the right to be able to buy one of those too, he says. Now if you don't, if you take all the AR-15s away, I'm cool with that too. And while folks aren't tearing into the wild and out host as much as they did for West, saying in part that slavery is like we're mentally in prison, several viewers still didn't back Cannon's remarks. Some said slavery was around before the invention of guns. Someone commented, "This clown speaks as if it was just blacks that were slaves. Slavery has been going on since the beginning of the time." Well, that sounds like a white person. They didn't even have to put a face or a name to that response right there. I know that was a white person. And that person said that slavery was around before the inventions of guns. Somehow I doubt that, but okay. This is another uneducated guess. Another said, he sounds like Kanye. Slavery was going to happen regardless. Damn, what happened to common sense? Like, these responses sound like they came from the mouths of white people. I can just tell. How about slavery would not, and this I know this one came from a white person. How about slavery would not exist if Africans didn't capture other Africans and sell them? Yep, that was those responses I think all came from white people. I doubt that came from the mouths of black people. You can just tell when you do videos, as long as I have, and you read comments like the ones that I come across, you can pretty much weed out that these are coming from the stain. Now, like I said, Nick Cannon made a world of sense. He knows, like we know, that the gun is pretty much the white man's god. Without it, they are really nothing. They knew they could not conquer a people without it. They would lose. Much how they are today. Why do you think they are the main ones screaming, "Don't take away guns, don't take away our guns, don't take away our guns"? Or when people say, "Oh, they're committing these shootings because the left is trying to take our guns." Yes, I heard that as an excuse. That somebody said that these mass shooters are committing these shootings because they're taking away our gun rights. Everything literally goes back to that damn gun for them. If they could sleep, fuck, and marry that gun, they probably would. Like, that's literally, like I said, that's literally their god for them. And Nick Cannon is 100% correct. If it wasn't for that damn gun, Africans, I truly believe, most likely wouldn't have been enslaved. They had to use that in order to get version of order and talk about that guns came later after slavery. Bullshit. I think they were around before then. Those goddamn Europeans had to be prepared going up into what they deemed to be sacred land that needed to be invaded. Because quiet as it's kept, while some of those people who went over there and invaded Africa to get the people out of there and bring them back to America, many of those white men didn't go back. Why? Because they stayed there and they continued to pillage and destroy whatever they didn't take with them, and then put their goddamn flag into the land and said, oh, it's ours now. Now, I don't know if that's really indeed a fact, but I truly believe that that possibly did happen. Knowing them, it probably did. So I agree with what Nick Cannon was saying. I really do. Y'all let me know if you agree with him as well. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one.